Howdy and welcome back. This is Diana Chu, your humble Pisces at Slow Gaze. Today we're going to be reviewing the ridiculous lip suede from Westman Atelier. Now this is the first product that I've ever bought from this brand, and I know a lot of people are curious about it because it's in the clean beauty sphere. It's beautiful. I'll be comparing the lip suede to my favorite lip palette of all time by Jeanne, Damas, as well as two different lipsticks that I think are pretty popular out in the mainstream by McGrath Labs and Charlotte Tilbury. If you want to see this swatched on my lips and on my arm, I'll show that at the very end, but let's dive into the comparisons. So this compact, I do think that it's kind of hard to open. It has a little lip here, but it's quite small, but it's heavy. It's made out of metal. It has like a red enamel on it. There's no separation between the four shades. I'm dipping my brush into all of them to add a little blush to my face, and then we'll dive right into the swatches. So I'm swatching from the bottom to the top. This first shade here is a really mauvey purpley color that applies pretty sheer. You can see that my lips already have a natural pigment to them. They're kind of pink, but mostly brown toned, and adding this sheer purple on top, which actually has a little bit of white in it. It's flattering, I like it, but it's not my favorite. The next shade is a classic bright tomato. I think that's how it's described anyway. It does read quite orange, almost coral, because it has such a neon base to it. I think it's super summery, especially with my bronzed cheeks, and I like it. The third shade is probably my favorite. I do like brick reds on my skin tone. This one, again, it really doesn't apply very opaquely. It looks more like a classic red on me than anything. These lip suedes are very dense. You can't like push it down very far and the product doesn't move. It feels like a really solid compact. So I feel like you get a lot of product in here. I am applying that top hot fuchsia shade, but again, you can't really tell. If you're into sheer buildable colors that I think you can mix well, I say go for it. Is it worth $85? No. I will never buy this again. This will sit on my vanity. Honestly, it's not worth the money. On to the arm swatches. I'm not great at this, so please excuse my technique. I'm going in the same order as I did with the palette, so bottom to top, there's that purpley tone, and then that bright tomato, which again, it reads better on my skin than on my lips, but I am going quite a few times over and over this. So you can build it, I guess. It's not the same as a buildable lipstick, and maybe that's what people want. That fuchsia shade looks gorgeous, but I don't see it reading on my lips in the same way. It'll be better with a lip brush, but that's not how I use it. I'm comparing this now to the Signature Quad by Jeanne Damas, which I also bought on Violet Gray. This is her nude shade, which I adore. The formula is a lot more like a traditional lipstick, more emollient, a little silkier, and it has more of a brown tone, so that suits my lips perfectly. The next shade is the Vivid Red. It has more blue in it, so it makes my teeth look whiter. This is a classic Parisian red. Both of these don't seem to have a scent to them, so if you're worried about fragrance, I love that the Westman Atelier is clean, but it doesn't smell like anything, so it's not irritable. I do feel better using clean products on my lips for obvious reasons, and this third shade from the Signature palette is the last closest one to the Westman Ateliers. It is more burgundy, it has a little more purple to it, it is deeper, and I love it. Finally, in that same palette, we have the Plum. If you want a vampier look and if you want to be able to deepen your tones, I don't think the Westman Atelier can really deepen to any vampy shade, so that's unfortunate. Straight from the tube, this is McGrath Labs' Elson in 013. It's her matte Trance lipstick line, which is so popular. I love it as well. And finally, Charlotte Tilbury's Bond Girl was the closest I had in my own collection to those first nudie plum mauvey colors that are meant to look like your skin but better. So those are your shades. And here's another close-up of the shade range on my arm in different light. And this is what it looks like when they're all wiped away. You can see that they do stain. Thank you for watching. If you found this helpful, please subscribe and I'll see you next time. Adios.